Welcome, everyone. This is Polyphenols, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at Blaze and LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week we have with us Sanswinda,
Hello.
Quarendus,
Hello, everyone.
and Krister.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today?
Excellent.
Then let's head into some news and see what's happening in the world of LOTRO, where we had a little release, update 30.2, where for housing, neighborhood for sale signs will now correctly display their address in the French game client.
Good.
And as for events, the Farmers Fair is now available through August 30th. Get new avatar cosmetics, steed, pet, and housing item rewards this year, including a new cosmetic pet for festivity tokens. And the new items available this Farmers Fair include the Green Grocer avatar cosmetic and steed, cosmetic pet woodland heart, woodland doe, and woodland fawn, and a variety of housing items such as crates of food, bread baskets, and troughs with different contents, empty, with feed, and with water. As for items, degated Falakaza Doom raid gear barter is now available from the Falakaza Doom Rewards Quartermaster for Embers of Enchantment. Degated cosmetics are also available for Figments of Splendor. With Tier 1 raid completion, you may barter for some housing item cosmetics and item level 434 Falakaza Doom armor. With Tier 2 raid completion, you may barter for an additional cosmetics and Khazad-dûm fall gloves and cloaks of items. With Tier 3 raid completion, you may barter for chests of Diran's Bane, housing items, and legendary Khazad-dûm fall boots. The gloves and cloaks and set items are also offered at the Tier 3 barter profile at a reduced cost.
Awesome.
All right, so Krister, could you translate that to us into English? No.
Stuff is cheaper.
Yeah, don't get your gloves and cloaks for Tier 2 until you've completed Tier 3. Would be the lesson, I think.
Yes.
Don't get your gloves for Tier 2.
Because the Tier 2 unlocks the gloves and cloaks, but if you wait until you've completed Tier 3, you get it at a reduced cost.
All right. But if I remember correctly, Krister's only completed Tier 1 so far.
That is correct, yes, because we before we entered our quiet time, we were we were feeling good about T1 and starting to think about T2. And now we're just waiting for everybody to kind of get back from vacations for that next phase.
So
Krister's guild has gone fallow.
That's right.
So you're not going to be trying to be one of the first 10 to complete Tier 5 then?
No, I'm content to let other people do the hard work. And then,
right. Yes. If I remember correctly, this week a kin finally was able to do Tier 5.
I would be really interested to see what they got in terms of rewards as well.
Also, quest and adventure areas. The number of bats and trolls that spawn in Osnu Bazaar has been increased. And anyone who's been trying to do the quests related to those understands why I'm sure several people are going to be happy about that. The difficulty system, Shadowfax and Treebeard, the champion difficulty title has been changed from Apprentice of Blades to Novitate of Blades to prevent duplicating a crafting title.
Novitiate of Blades. So we are going to get a monk class. It's just going to be on Treebeard and Shadowfax if you're a champion. Anyway.
Well, remember, champions are the masters of martial arts, right? And well,
I was going to say if they had fists, maybe if they had cestus. I haven't played a champ. Did we?
Oh yeah. Well, I
Did they
believe
use assessments?
I think that's their title for. It's something like that for their level 30 title that they get for completing their level 30 class quest.
Ah, okay.
The
Yes.
difficulty one. Yeah. Well, actually, I think Apprentice of Blades may be a weaponsmith title.
Yeah, Apprentice of Play is probably a weaponsmith title. And for the Falls of Khazad-dûm raid Durin's Bane encounter, Pyroclast Flow now does lightning type damage, and Mark of Shadow will now also apply combat stance immunity to seconds after the initial effect application.
Oh, that's actually really nice. You can have your tides change very quickly when the debris starts flying, and that's just on on T1. So when you have that pyroclastic flow in play too, I'm assuming people just can die instantly. You can have your entire rate go down at once.
Oofta.
But it is fun. I mean, the timing is everything in that one. If the group has their wits about them and are paying attention, you're going to make it.
And that's it for the Update 30.2 release notes, though they are, I believe, planning on having the update for Honor on going up to the next area into Mordor, and I'm pretty sure that was also in there, but not in the release notes since I think that's next week when they're opening that up. Unless I was so busy concentrating on Saltmarsh that I completely forgot. So let's now look at another matter, and that is SSG is investigating increasing the number of instances that you are allowed. Now, we were warned that this is not going to be by a huge dramatic amount. Don't expect it to be increased by huge numbers or anything like that. But they are going to be increasing it and then testing to see what the impact on the servers is. As a result of that, some people on Evernight are already saying that they don't like the idea because they say the server is slow enough as it is.
From all the things I see about people playing on Evernight, I kind of understand their concerns.
Yeah.
But when the missions and the dailies in Limlock are all on the same timer, you can hit that max within an hour's time and be standing there waiting. So it's kind of frustrating, especially if you've only got a limited time to play that day.
I guess because I just don't have the skill level in order to be able to complete 10 missions in an hour. To me, it takes more than an hour to complete 10 missions, but I guess
Fair.
I suspect that Terry Adwin, though, could sweep through them in half an hour.
Yeah, well, then when we're in the captain, we're doing them. We would do stuff at the Three Peaks, up north, and then Elder Slades, and then move over and try to do the Limlock dailies and get stuck standing there waiting for a while.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. As I said,
Take friends, Pine. Take friends.
Exactly.
Well, the trouble is, if I go in with Terry Adwin, I feel like everything's dead before I have a chance
Why
to
am I
pull out
here?
my weapon. Yeah, why am I? Oh, I'm supposed to click on the things. I'm supposed to click on the mounds to close them.
quick spot the cheer remote and target her and just keep cheering.
Oh, maybe something like that. Let's then go to the LOTRO beacon, which is issue 215, where we have the Farmers Fair on the banner. Let's see what's in the community spotlight, where Deco de Milo recently held a housing Q&A with the LOTRO team on their Discord, and you can get the transcript or hear the interview over on the Deco de Milo website. Exodia from Arkenstone recently completed Tier 5 of the Fall of Khazad-dûm. You could see their video over on the LOTRO forums.
Of course
sure-
it was Ark.
I'm sure that Krister will study their footage carefully.
Like football analysis.
Yeah, football analysis, yes.
What were their plays? Let's steal their playbook.
Carrick Avalron Gaming walks you through the Servant of the Process title on a new video. Watch the video on YouTube. Inferno of Sounds is a metal festival taking place on Friday through Sunday, the 15th on Guay, so that means that ends tomorrow as of this recording, and you can read more about this. Concert on LOTRO Artists, and Beleguer Open Air brings a rock for a second year to Beleguer on Saturday, but that is probably over by now. As for our weekly comment, what is the first word you think when you see one of Middle-earth's mountains?
Pointy.
Wow, or rats, depending on whether or not I see it while I'm trying to get somewhere and it suddenly shows up in the middle of my path, or if my draw distance is up and I see it in the distance and I go, oh wow, that looks really cool.
Yeah, I said. Mine is more like, uh-oh. Usually because I just suddenly realized that I'm going to have to climb that silly thing. And everyone knows that Pine Leaf Needles' archenemy is the ridge.
Yeah, I don't usually think uh-oh until I realize that the mountain is not about to continue underneath me in the direction that I'm going.
From the chat, Lunori said Bilbo's phrase, Mountains, Gandalf.
Mountains, Gandalf.
Yeah, well, you're going to see mountains again.
Plenty of mountains. Then let's head to the Fansite News. Then Fibro Jedi is updating his extensive guide to the Farmer's Fair, and you can get the guide over on the Fibro Jedi blog. So you can see everything that is available. The only problem with the guide is it keeps on growing and growing and growing.
No, that's not a problem with the guide. That's a problem with the growing festival requiring the growing guide.
Okay, you got a point there.
Now, I did notice, Bless, he just posted earlier today that he alphabetized the list of things that the mayor says so you can find it really quickly. He switched his list around to where it's alphabetical order from what the mayor is saying.
Nice.
So that'll be helpful.
All right, so this time we get around, we get the Steed of the Greengrocer.
I'm sorry, I didn't really like it that well. I mean, it's okay, but I'm not going to be grinding tokens for the worsty cosmetics on that one. That's for sure.
Well,
Now I love the pets; they're gorgeous. Actually, made me do the perfect picnic on level. That's the way you can get the heart. The daddy deer. There's the heart, the doe, and the fawn. Doe and fawn are just barter from doing the festival, but you have to do the seasonal instances to get the and there's no way I'm doing throwing. That's just way too much effort.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be doing throwing either. Oh, right. Ooh. All right, and so that's quite a list of things in there. What's on the cosmetics then? It's hard to.
I'm kind of sad because the greengrocer outfit doesn't look as good on Hubbits. It kind of scrunches at the bottom, and that's my yeoman. course, my hobbit is my chef and my farmer, and she would have loved to have had something with carrots on it to go with her backpack that has food hanging out of it, but it looked kind of funny
It doesn't quite look right for
on
a
her.
hobbit.
An undertall being.
An underdog. Someone who is vertically challenged. Yes.
Well, I mean, she's a hunter. She's not too vertically challenged. She can still usually manage to hit things, but
Grant, that's awesome. I think you came up with the equivalent of I'm big boned there. I'm not short. I'm under tall.
Underdog.
well, some reason I've got the scene from Two Towers movie of them saying we're trying to adjust it. It's a little too small in the chest, right?
Oh well. And that's it on the guide for Fibro Jedi. And last week we got some chocolate chip lambas.
Heard about that.
Mm.
I heard we might have to develop a cheap knockoff for Lemus, and so
Yes.
immediately
Yes.
I was thinking of a name called this name Resembless sprung to mind. That it almost looks like Limbus, but who knows what it tastes like, because Galadriel's the only one that makes the stuff. So it's like you don't know. So I'll just say that it tastes just like the stuff that Galadriel makes, because you're never going to taste her stuff.
Well,
I think that the Florian Biscuit Company may still keep the market cornered on that one.
They're always one step ahead.
Lobco.
yes. We're sure that Lobco will keep watching to make sure that no one else steals their secret recipes.
Galadriel's like, okay, let me go back and check the recipes that Melaine gave me. I'm sure there's something else I can pull out to top these guys.
Also, LOTRO Stream is your first stop to find LOTRO on Twitch. This week, B4 shows you how to update a plugin. Sky Manic heads into the Elder Slade, and Big Ed goes on an adventure. Also on Twitch, Endang Fire gets some new gear. Positively Evil runs Deadly +6 on Treebeard, and Emperor 13 TV chills. Deadly +6.
I tell you, it sounds like fun, Pineleaf. We should try it.
I thought you guys had done it.
You and I must have to. I have enough jitters just from Deadly.
Pine, she was trying to get me to agree to doing this on Girls the other day. She's campaigning hard for somebody to do this.
I mean,
on Girl, that sounds like the ultimate insanity.
See? It would fit beautifully with Girls.
Squirrels of Middle-earth.
Or what do you...
Sorry, I was going to say we need more people if we're going to do that. It'll be more fun that way.
Fair.
We can last longer. Maybe the whole group won't wipe at once.
I don't know. You're just reminding me of something from another game known as Hogger Raids. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. But essentially, there is an elite, I think it's like level 6 character called Hogger in this game. And what people do is they create new characters, and all these level 1 characters run out and see if they can take down Hogger.
No, I just Googled it. There's something about Hogger Raid, 40-man level 1 gnome raid.
Wow. That does sound like insanity.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I've got to look this up now.
I mean, in all fairness, it kind of feels like that when there's a whole bunch of us on for Girls anyway. And that's without the Deadly +6.
Yes. Yes. Over on YouTube, Mr. Inadequate travels to the North Downs. Mm. Plinto Bay's Quadrato heads to the Beacon Hills, and Snakefy Gaming levels a hunter on Treebeard. And Mr. Hobbit's Misadventures praises Scholars Hall. Read more about it at their blog.
Oh, they're
Now,
in Bree. Scholars Hall.
yes. Now for our screenshot of the week, where Nodmoth captures this great sunset image from the Brownlands for LOTRO Wiki in this week's screenshot of the week. Submit your screenshot for consideration by emailing it to lotro@settingstonegames.com. Wait.
It's beautiful. That's one of my favorite skies in LOTRO right there. That kind of blue with vibrant clouds.
Yeah, doing it very well because it takes I think it takes a bit to make the Brownlands look good. Yes. And that's it for our LOTRO Beacon for this week. And so let's head out and see what's on sale this week in Guarendis. What's on sale?
Well, the Farmers Fair, as we said before, is continuing through August 30th. And Lotro bonus days bring you a plus 25% loot box embers and moats through August 15th, which is through the weekend. So if you're listening to this after we've dropped the podcast, sorry, too late. You can also be virtuous like Samwise. It's 25% off Virtue Acceleration Tomes, trait slots, skill and Slayer Deed boosts, and that's through the 19th. The weekly coupon gets you a free Battle Potion of Restoration ×5 with the coupon code Kampftrunk now through August 19th. That is actually evidently German for like battle potion or something like that. I think I saw somewhere.
Okay, that makes sense. I was trying to remember what it meant, but there's a conf. Okay, yeah. Say a battle trunk, like drink. Yeah, so
Yeah,
battle drink, I guess, could
I
be
guess, or
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, well, struggle drink, battle drink. Yeah,
Yeah, battle drink, something like that. I would say that would be a literal translation, but yeah, battle
Well,
Yos.
potion
I would
might be.
say that would involve a quadruple mocha at the very least. We're talking about battle potion.
I'm I'm sure our German
Just tell them to
listeners could
put the
provide a
extra
better
shots
translation.
in when they make it.
Yeah, and you need extra whip too. There's nothing to say about that. You have to have the whip right. No battle drink is complete.
Without the extra whip.
That's the extra whip.
Now I have a really bad song from the Rankin Bass versions of Lord of the Rings in my head. Anyway.
I'm sorry. They say that never goes away. Soon you're going to hear a ringing in your ears, and then there's the inevitable agonizing death.
Where there's a whip, there's a way.
But anyway. Well, yeah, I do remember that one. Apparently, Corey Olsen really loves that song.
Somehow I'm not surprised. I know, just because I know he's like been working his way through the history of rap music, and that he also has a very great fondness of all those kind of Lord of the Rings homage pastiche type metal albums that are out. So yeah, I'm not surprised really, and I mean that in a nice way. I'm not meaning that mean. I'm just not surprised.
Yes, I'm wondering, why did they decide to do Return of the King? I don't know, but then let's head into our site news, where Squirrel has made not one, but two guides to XP, where the first one, he talks about XP, how does it work? And part two on this is research Understanding XP gain. Isn't this feels like more information that I ever wanted to know about XP?
Well, finally, a lot of people are uncomfortable with it when they understand that the essence of XP and Lord of the Rings really is midichlorians, and so you can kind of have a bizarre crossover there. And a lot of people can't really handle that revelation.
Oh, okay. So we're looking at the dark side of XP perhaps someday?
We are, see, Buggins,
So,
Ugnaughts, see.
so then when you've got your virtue XP leveled up, is there like a virgins? I'm sorry, I heard the sound of a bunch of Star Wars fans screaming at once. We'll talk. Quit talking prequels.
All right. Anyway, the how does it work thing is called TLDR, which is too long to not read version of a larger project that he's doing. So this is actually his condensation of everything you want to know. What's he do? He's going to write a monograph about XP and LOTRO.
Somebody has to.
Somebody has to. Then with that, let's head into our week in gaming. Krister, what were you up to?
Well, I had a active week in gaming. Just Lotro, just once again been kind of quiet lately. The Ken is kind of on hiatus as summer's ending. So, however, if we're not doing the raid stuff, we are doing 6-man. So we've just been doing stairs and stairs and stairs and stairs and stairs and stairs. Just trying to get everybody equipped. And the good news is that it's becoming faster and faster and faster. And then, of course, we have several people returning soon to active duty, and we should start the raids again. So looking forward to being able to actually report on our raid progress again. And I blew it. I already revealed my resemblance name for Lembus after having heard about your guys' Lembus comments last week, which I thought was awesome. So I might have to work up a little bit for resemblance because there's something there. There's something magical. And it has to be just like Balrog bites. It has to be exploited. So, but this week also was playing Minecraft. I've been playing this. I usually get a midway through a map in Civ 6, and it's not that I hate it or I give up or I'm frustrated. It's just that I have another idea of how I want to start a Civ 6 game, and then I started again. So this game I've actually almost finished. It's a domination game. Everybody attacked me at once. It was a desperate fight, but now I'm winning, and I've almost conquered the world, so it's very satisfying. And then I picked up Ark Survival. The LPN group was talking about it, and so taking a look at this game, really like it. The graphics are nice. It's an interesting crafting game, and then I had a problem with certain control aspects in the game, which I won't really go into detail about, but once I was able to control myself, let's just put it that way, I found the game much more enjoyable. So. And Graham, what have you been up to?
Well, it is Farmer's Fair time in Lotro, so I have been doing that. Where already has, like, say, Lucky Duck and Picky Picker and a lot of the, titles like that. She got to do everything first, really. 2 more instances on the Perfect Picnic, just because I was kind of lazy about it last year. And I will have the title, 2 more encounters, I should say. So I've been focusing on my Hobbit Hunter, which is the next highest level character that I have. And she's already a Lucky Duck. She got that last year. I've been trying to get Picky Picker, mostly because I want the heave emote. I don't know why. I just think it would be funny if she had the heave emote, because She's also very pestersome to one of our kin members, is very much elf all the way, and it's kind of almost an RP type of thing with this person. I think it would be hilarious to be able to heave on one of their characters as a hobbit. Just for giggles. I probably will be smited several times with cold fish and flamed, but it's okay. It's worth it. But if you want to win the drinking or eating races on Landerval, come with my Hobbit Hunter and bet on anyone who she does not bet on. Because I've only won twice. I was in a fellowship with somebody else and they bet on the same one. I swear they're like my good luck charm, and or the RNG likes them. But when I pick alone and I'm betting on those races, I have had absolutely no luck at all. Usually they come in last. I don't know what's up with this. So yeah, if you're on Landerval and you want to win those races, come with me and I'll at least tell you who not to bet on.
Unlucky Goose is going to be your title then.
Evidently. That I'll keep my head up high, my little under-tall head up high. Girls of Middle-earth attempted to level the Pretzel Brothers last weekend and actually managed to do that in spite of ourselves. I keep making jokes about Squirrels of Middle-earth. Very unwise of us, really. That was part of the whole thing that started this kind of, okay, we first were like, let's level them, try to catch up with the third part of the party that usually runs together with the Pretzel Brothers. And we're still, I think, 13, 14 levels down for me and another level yet, I think, for Sans. And then we saw the Barrowbrie in the bag and thought, okay, we'll get rid of that, but I don't have it yet. So we went and did that for a little bit. And then we in spite of ourselves, we did manage to finally, towards the end, get enough XP and on or above level XP to level. Yay! And in ESO, the Shiny Duo have finished Stonefalls, which is the first, kind of the starter zone, the big starter zone for Ebonheart Pact, which is, like I said last week, the last alliance that we need to do. I'm genuinely excited to continue because I haven't experienced the story past that zone. I had a Ebonheart Pact character that started Ebonheart Pact but has only completed Stonefells and has not gone on. So I'm looking forward to getting to Deshawn and seeing what comes next. Sans, what did you do this past week?
Well, as you mentioned, my Pretzel brother became unwise, or solidified his unwiseness with a title. Anyway, it was a lot of fun.
But cheese and pretzels, they go great together.
Cheese and pretzels do go great together. I mean, I think it was perfectly wise. Who cares that this pretzel is apparently deadly and has been bashing everything on the landscape?
Cheese was deadly too.
The cheese was more deadly. The cheese proved more deadly to me. And then I went farming with the lore masters in Oatbarton, which was a lot of fun. Lore masters don't run very fast though. And I visited the end on purpose in a survival world in Minecraft for the first time, and survived the dragon fight wearing a pumpkin on my head. I did die in the end, but it was not to the dragon. I died the very first time I got into the end. I jumped through the portal, and when I could see my screen again, I was falling to my doom. So that was interesting, but the second time in went much better, and we fought the dragon and we won. So that was pretty cool. And had fun questing on Balmora and Swotor with Nitesh, and did some exploring and excavating antiquities in ESO with Guare, which was also fun. And there was this random magician dude walking around, and I talked to him, and he's like, do you want to, see the view from the clouds? And I was like, yes. And he's like, well, then pay me 69 gold. And I was like, okay, here's 69 gold. And he put me in a bubble, and he, levitated me into the clouds. And it was fantastic.
Oh, that's cool.
And he warned me that it might hurt on the way down, so I kind of expected to, come down dead somewhere. But it actually very gently lowered me right back to the ground. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. So if you meet the random magician dude in ESO, feel free to take your flight. It's awesome. He also turned me into a skeleton for like 10 minutes though. So do make wise choices when talking to him.
Well, was that kind of like part of a detox or something? I mean, I would think if you
You know,
that would really kind of clean you out if you were turned into a skeleton.
He offered me the chance to see life from somebody else's brows. From between somebody else's brows or something, and then turned me into a skeleton. So, yeah, that was kind of funny too. And I used my jester personality, which I felt like was even more funny. So, yeah, it worked out well. It wasn't permanent. But that was my week. How was your week, Pineleaf?
I'll begin with the Dungeons and Dragons Online, where I headed into a town called Saltmarsh, where I began to uncover a sinister secret. Then, over in our Minecraft group, as Sanswinda said, we went inside and into the end, where we all worked together after a couple of hiccups, as she noted, and eventually killed the dragon in there. And I managed to eventually collect the dragon's egg. Now I got to figure out where to put the dragon's egg so that we can have a nice display of the egg at our community center, because that's a nice trophy to have.
And Pine Leaf, I remember we worked all as a team, but I remember somebody specifically killed the dragon. Who was that? The memory, my memory's foggy on it.
On who killed the dragon?
Yeah, it's one of the more magnificent heroes of that circle.
Well,
what's his name?
Well, saying one particular person killed the dragon is a little bit
Chris just
pushing
going
it.
fishing here.
Yes, considering that it was a team effort, I believe.
Well, I was wearing somebody else's pants. They were filled with pumpkin pie. I had no shirt on. I had a pumpkin on my head, and that was just, it was brilliant. That, if I was going to kill a dragon, I can't think of a better way to do it.
With a pumpkin on your head.
Oh, exactly. Because that's tough. I mean, if you killed it without the pumpkin, you can see better, you can move better, but with the pumpkin, we were all having problems with the pumpkin.
Well, yeah, it's hard to see with the pumpkin. Oh, yes, but the trouble is, without the pumpkin, then you better be adept at not looking at Endermen.
Which is problematic there.
Yeah, which in the end is problematic, because that's, in that part of the end, outside of the dragon, that's the only mob that naturally spawns are the Endermen.
And there were a lot of them. In fact,
of course there are a lot.
Being, like, right in front of my face too, so it was a good thing I had on the pumpkin mask.
Right. Because I think the only type of other mob that you might possibly have spawn in that area would be an endermite. If you throw enough ender pearls, that might happen.
That sounds like something we don't want to see.
No. Well, actually, if you can get an endermite to... I guess if you get an endermite to spawn, then as soon as the endermen see the endermite, they all rush to the endermite in order to try to stamp it out. So then if you could get away from the area and say, okay, while they're distracted, we'll go return to killing the dragon.
That's good. Okay.
I don't know enough about Minecraft. Somehow I think there's an Ender's Game joke in here, but I can't figure it out.
There is too, because there's a ton of Endermen at the end there. The dragons.
Yeah.
So
with the dragon dead, I did make a little bit of a trip to one of the outer islands where I was able to pick up some coarse fruits so that we'll be able to make some of that over at our base. Now, I was not able to get to an end city yet, so we don't have any shulker boxes yet or anything like that. Maybe someday. Instead, though, what I did last night was I headed into the Nether, where I thought it's high time that we try to make the spawn point for our Nether portal and a friendlier, larger spot. So I enlarged the spawn area. I've created a second Nether portal. So now we've got two Nether portals, one at the original location and one in the warehouse basement. So that way we could go into there and have more than one way in which to get into the end and have this into a little Nether hub. And maybe someday we could actually have roads going out of it so that we can go to places
Oh, heck
instead
yeah.
of and make the Nether a kindlier and friendlier place.
One day we can bring horses into the Nether.
Well, let's see.
We've had bad experiences with horses so far, honestly. So I don't really want to be around them
Yes,
fighting.
horses in the Nether have an interesting history based on anything I've seen on any video that involved horses in the Nether. Our
It
top
doesn't. Oh, go ahead.
Yes? Can you?
Oh, I lost my train of thought now. So never mind. Sorry for interrupting you there, finally.
Our top supporter this month is LOTRObuild.com. LOTRObuild.com is a full LOTRO database that includes an items database, a relics database, and a titles database. You could also use it right from your Discord server with LOTRObuild bot. We currently have 16 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious raid of players and help support LOTRO players, you can go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money would be used for podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. We did not receive any emails this week. We feel like since when you can send it to podcast at LOTROplayers.com. You can also set Twitter. The Players Alliance at Players Alliance, and LOTRO Players at LOTRO Players, Arendis at Arendis, Polyfit, Polyneals, Senswin at Senswin, Terry Edwin at Terry Edwin, Guarendis at Guarendis, Calabathian at Calabathian, and Krister learning self-control on Skull Island.
That's right. I'll do it.
Is it really called Skull Island?
Or no, but that's what you called it. So
yeah,
I was making a subtle reference.
Okay, so you were referring to what I was calling it.
Yes.
The Players Alliance has two shows on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players News. You can join us for our shows at LOTROplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight, and this is Pipe Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.